So would you like to come into lying down if you haven't done so already? Just make yourselves really comfortable and then we'll start. So as you come into your lying down position, just make sure that you're comfortable through your body. Make sure that you've got everything that you need. So feeling your body on the floor or whichever surface you're lying upon. And then start to feel all the places where your body touches the ground. So being aware of all the points of contact between the back of the body and the floor. And just allow each part to become heavy. Allowing each part to release. And then just take a couple of deeper breaths. So breathing in through your nose and just sighing the breath out through the mouth. Releasing all tension with that outgoing breath. And then feeling your feet, your heels, so heavy against the ground, your calf muscles, your knees releasing, your thighs releasing, feeling that support as you sink down, buttocks releasing, lower back, spine easing down towards the ground, and all along your spine, into your neck, your shoulders, allowing them to feel heavy. And now releasing through your upper arms, releasing through your elbows, your forearms, releasing through your wrists, your hands. So they all feel very heavy and supported. Just easing down. Allowing the head to be supported. And the whole body now, the whole body experience, the whole body being held and supported. And then once more, just take a few deeper breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. As you exhale, just letting go of the day, releasing all tensions, all concerns, just allowing concerns to fall away. And now allow your breath, your breathing, to find its own rhythm. In and out, an easy flow. Shoulders and back releasing. Releasing into the support of the surface upon which you're lying. And let the chest expand and move freely, effortlessly. Breathing in and breathing out smoothly. Allowing refreshing air to flow through your being, all the way down into your toes, all the way through your body. And maybe becoming aware of your heartbeat, that steady, constant rhythm of your heart. And feel the pulsing flow of blood, of energy through the body. And feel the steady rhythm of your heart. Become aware of the earth beneath you once more. Imagine that the earth's energy is flowing and pulsing, steady and unending, like a heartbeat, pulsing and flowing. And if you wish, imagine that the earth's heartbeat and your own are one, beating in unison. They seem to be one. And feel that nourishing and strengthening your being. Regular, steady, calming. Connected to the rhythm of life, your rootedness, your connection, the whole of creation. And remembering that whenever you become aware of your heartbeat, you can always come back to this place, sense of groundedness, this sense of rootedness, calmness, being centered, and permitting yourself to feel this connection to the planet and to the vital life force. And once more, if you wish, just taking a deeper breath once more. Inhaling through the nose and just sigh the breath out through the mouth. Releasing any tension, any worries or concerns. And now imagine that there's a soft breeze blowing over you. And just a hint of the cool sweetness of the early evening. And breathe in that freshness, that refreshment after a long day. And feel the soothing, cleansing, calming touch on your brow. Feel it smoothing out every trace of tension. Feel it smoothing out every trace of tension over your brow and around your eyes, around your mouth, your jaw, around your ears, your scalp. Released, smoothed, and continue to breathe in that sweet freshness, calming, cleansing, refreshing. Remembering that you can at any time return to this totally relaxed, centered state. And then we'll start to stretch out through the body a little. So just taking your time with your stretches. Stretching in any way that feels good through your body. Once more, just releasing any held or residual tension with the outgoing breath. Just allowing it to be nice, cleansing breath. As your arms come back now alongside your body, just slowly start to draw the knees in, gathering the knees back towards you, tucking the chin slightly, allow the lower back to settle. Spreading a little bit more through the mid part of the back. And then letting the soles of the feet drop down to the floor, having your feet just about hip width apart. And then roll the arms away from the body on the diagonal. And then come into a nice, gentle, smooth pelvic tilt with breath. Just finding that smooth flow, gentle rhythm. So on the out breath, you're flattening your lower back into the mat. And on the in breath, moving the pelvis away from you, just until you feel that lumbar curve come back into resistance. Just finding that gentle undulation with the breath. Easing out through your lower back, easing out through your hips. So we're going to take some movements while we're here now, just to improve back function, to help any back pain, to mobilize through the spine. So coming back to stillness now for a moment. And then from that position, if you extend your right leg along the length of your mat. And then just start to lift up through your left hip. Just pushing ever so slightly into the left foot. And then come back to center. So you're just very gently rolling a little towards the right as you lift up through that left hip and push ever so slightly into the left foot. So you've got that roll and release with the breath, and just continue with that movement. Allow it to be a nice, smooth, gentle movement with the breath, so you're not creating muscular tension. So using as little effort as possible to find a nice flow. So lifting the left hip, pushing slightly into the left foot to create a little roll across to the right, and then rolling back. The head wants to move and roll, just allow it to move in a way that feels natural, that feels comfortable. And then we can take that a little bit deeper now by bringing that left arm across to the right. So you're rolling a little bit more onto that right hip, stretching a little out through that left arm, and then rolling all the way back. And again, just allow your head to move in any way that feels natural. So as you lift up through that left hip, Just bringing left arm across to the right, stretching it a little bit further over to that right side. You might just rock a little bit further onto that right hip and then rolling all the way back. And just continue with that movement. Again, see if you can find a nice smooth flow with the breath that feels quite effortless. Just gently easing out through the body, slowly. Easing out any tensions that you might be holding around the shoulder, through the neck. Just gently releasing the spine. Let's do that once more on this side. And then coming back to center. As you come back to center, start to draw your right heel back to join your left. Come back to semi-supine. And then we'll extend that left leg long. And we'll do the same on this side now. So we're going to start to lift the right hip, just slightly pushing into the right foot, creating that little roll towards the left, and then coming back to center. And then just continue on this side, so lifting up through your right hip, just a gentle push of the right foot into the floor. You roll a little to the left this time, and then roll back to center. Continue those movements with the breath, taking your time. See how it feels on this side. Just gently easing out again, moving slowly. You can have your eyes closed so that you can feel more. So mindful, easeful movement. Synchronize the breath with the movement. And then this time we can start to reach that right arm across to the left. You can go a little bit further with that stretch, rolling a little bit more over to that left side, and then rolling back. And again, exactly as we did on the other side, just find your flow with the breath. Really take your time, easing into any little tender places through the body. Just finding that gentle flowing rhythm with the breath. And then we'll just do one more on this side. And then coming back to center slowly. And then as you come back to center, just drawing that left heel back to join the right. So coming back into semi-supine. Find some symmetry through the body. Notice how you feel. Come back to your breath. Just take a little pause here and be with your breath. And then from here, take a moment, draw the knees in. can hug the knees back towards you. And then from there, so take a stretch of the legs to vertical. We'll flex through the feet, reach the arms to vertical. And then a soft bend through the knees, soft bend through the elbows. And then take some ankle and wrist rotations here. Just gently circling. Your time down with the breath. Very gently releasing through the ankles, through the wrists. And taking those movements the other way. And as you come back to center now, take a big stretch through, flex through the feet. And then we'll bring the arms back alongside the body. Bring the soles of the feet back to the floor. Again, have the feet just about hip width apart. Palms are facing down alongside the body. And then slowly with the breath, start to peel up into a low bridge. So lifting the hips, inhaling as you lift. Exhaling as you release back down. Just one vertebra at a time. Slowly releasing. And then continue in that way for a few more rounds. Lifting up into your bridge pose. Just a nice low level bridge. Inhaling as you lift. Exhaling as you peel back down. Just moving slowly and smoothly with the breath. Just take one more of those. And then as you release this time, slowly draw the knees in. So we'll hug the knees back towards us. And then if you bring your palms over your knees, just take a gentle rock from side to side. So knees go one way, head goes the other way. And then either continuing with that side to side rocking, or bringing the hands to the backs of your thighs for your full spinal rock, that you're rocking up into seated, and then rolling back along the whole length of your spine, whichever variation you prefer. We'll do about 6, and then we'll meet in seated. And then once you're back up, do have a little drink if you'd like to. And then if you'd like to come into a seated position, so it could be a cross-legged position, it could be a different position. So just going to release the shoulders now. So just starting to lift your right shoulder up towards the ear. You can close your eyes if you wish and just hold the shoulder in place here. And then from there, so release the shoulder, but just over about 10 seconds. So release it really slowly, allowing it to release as far as it will release. Just take your time, allowing that shoulder to soften, that kind. It's a lot lower than the left shoulder now, so you probably feel a little bit lopsided. And then we'll do the same on the other side. We start to lift that left shoulder up towards the left ear. And again, we're just going to hold that in place. Again, on this side, just slowly over about 10 seconds, just allow that shoulder to slowly release back down. Sometimes when you close the eyes, you can feel the movement better. And then hopefully the shoulders are released a little bit more and hopefully they feel even now. Just take your time so they're fully released there. And then from there, so you're going to find the lung 1 point now. So if you bring the hands just over the collarbone area, so you can feel into your collarbones. And then if you come underneath the collarbones and just trace across, go as far as you can go till you find that indent just before the shoulder bones. So the underside. And then if you just start to push into those points, probably find that it's a little bit tender in there. So this is the acupressure point. So it's lung 1 or L1. You can just start to massage into that lung 1 point. So it's a good one for clearing the lungs of colds or coughs, mucus. It can be good for lung function, good for asthma. Just take a little bit of time. Get your thumbs into that area, or maybe the index finger, whatever feels best for you. So it's a good one that you can remember. It helps the immune system. And just gently release. Relax the arms down, relax the shoulders down. Just come back to your breath. And now we're going to release the jaw, so release the muscles around the jaw. This is a place where we often hold tension. So what we're going to do, we're just going to clench the teeth together, but not fully, just about 20% effort. So it's not very much. And we're just going to hold that for about 10 seconds, and then we're going to release it. So just taking your time now. And just slowly release. Just allow that jaw to relax. That's lovely. And then so from there, just start to take some gentle circles now. So we'll mobilize a little bit more around the spine, through the pelvis. Just find those circles, easing into all those little areas that might feel a little bit tender, a little bit tight. So you'll find those little clicks and cracks. And then we'll take those circles the other way. That's lovely. And then come back to centre. So we're going to take a little sequence now that's going to improve, hopefully improve the hip mobility, and improve the mobility around the spine as well. So you could sit up onto your block, or you could sit up onto a blanket if you wish, or you could just be on your mat, see what feels most appropriate. So we're going to bring the legs in front of us, so the knees are bent, soles of the feet are on the floor. Feet are just about hip width apart. And then from that position, so the hands are just below the knees. And then from there, you start to lift the crown of the head skywards on the inhale. So you go a little bit taller. And then on the exhale, you're rounding through the spine, just dropping back through the pelvis. And then on the inhale, growing tall again through your crown. And then continue with the breath. So you're inhaling as you rise up, lifting up through the crown of the head. And you're exhaling as you round through the spine, just drawing back, rolling the pelvis. So throughout the sequence, if you're not using any padding underneath your seat, if you find that your pelvis isn't moving well, just place a little bit of padding underneath your sit bones, and that should help that movement, that pelvic movement. And again, just find a nice smooth flow of the breath. Just do one more of those. And then come back to center. And then from there, feet take the feet a little bit wider again. If it's comfortable to do so, come into a slightly reclined position so you can bring the arms behind you. And then we're going to roll the knees off to the left. So knees roll off to the left and then come back to center. Just going really slowly. And again, knees are rolling off to the left and then coming back to center. And then just continue in that way. So we're just rolling off to the left and then coming back to center. Slowly, smoothly with the breath. And again, it doesn't matter how far you go, just see if you can find that smooth movement through the body. And can you integrate the hips? Can you integrate the rib cage, the spine, softening? And this time, as you roll the knees up to the left, come into side sitting. And again, you could have something underneath your seat if you wish. You're going to frame that left knee with the hands. So the hands are either side of your left knee. And then from there, as if you're coming into a cat stretch, on the inhale, starting to lift your chin, lift your chest. And on the exhale, taking that domed aspect, rounding, drawing the chin towards the chest. So taking the spine through flexion and extension, inhaling as you lift, exhaling as you round. Again, if you find that the pelvic movement is not there, just place a little bit of padding underneath your seat, and then that should help you to move a little bit more. Just do one more on this side. And then coming back to center. So coming back up, again, you might find it helpful to sit up onto a block or a cushion. And again, we're having the feet wider than hip width. And again, come into that slightly reclined position if that's comfortable for you. And then this time I'm going to let the knees roll off to the right. So knees roll right and then come back to center. So again, you're synchronizing your breath with your movement. Exhaling as you roll the knees off. Inhaling as you come back to center. And again, just see if you can integrate the spine and the ribs, just allowing them to soften. Again, it doesn't matter how far you go, just finding that quality of movement, nice smooth flow. And then we'll do one more on this side. And then this time, as you roll off to the right, again, we're going to frame the right knee this time with the hands. So your hands are either side of that right knee. And then coming into that cat stretch. So you're inhaling as you're lifting You're exhaling as you're rounding. And again, if you find that the pelvis is not moving very well, just place some padding underneath your seat, blanket or a cushion. Finding that flow on this side. See how it feels on this side. Just moving slowly with the breath. Just do one more on this side. And then coming back to centre once more. And again, we're having the feet wider than hip width. Again, if it's comfortable, come into a slightly reclined position. And then start to roll the knees off to the left, come back to centre, and then roll the knees off to the right. And then this time, I'm going to take that all the way around into a twist. So you're twisting around to the left, knees roll off to the right, and then you're twisting around to the right. And just take your time to find that twist through the body this time. That's lovely. We'll just do one more to each side now. And then coming back to centre. And then once you come back to centre, if you'd like to have a little drink, and then we're going to come up into standing in a minute. So just take your time, and then we'll meet in the standing position. Okay, so just coming up into your standing position whenever you're ready. And then if you take the feet just a comfortable distance apart, start to soften through the knees, so have your hip points facing forward. We'll take that into a nice, easy, free twist now. So just going to energize a little bit more, find a nice free flow. Nice and relaxed through the arms, through the shoulders. And then slowly start to release from that twist now. And then, so from there, we're going to come into breath of joy. Breath of joy. So again, if you come back into more or less hip width apart with the feet. And then, so for breath of joy, it's a 3-part inhale followed by an exhale. So these are the movements. So it's so we'll do that together now. do one more. And then this time, as you release into your forward fold, just take a moment, release your head, your neck, your upper body. Just take a moment coming back to your breath. It's the breath of joy, good for increasing the oxygen levels in the blood. Just take a moment here. A nice flow of blood back to the brain. And then to release, just engage your core muscles. Just slowly slide the hands back, up the legs. So coming back up into your mountain pose. And then slide the hands to the lower back. So you're releasing into standing back bend. And then coming back to center. And then so from here we'll come into standing balance. So again, if you come into your mountain pose, have your feet just about hip width apart. And then from that position, start to transfer your weight over into your left foot. And then we'll bring the arms up into that cactus position. Start to lift up through your right knee. And then we'll stretch the arms back behind us. Stretch that right leg back behind you. And then on the inhale, come back through. Come into the upright position. Start to lift up through your right knee. Take the left arm out to the left. Bring the right knee out to the right. Connect the sole of the foot. So sole of the right foot is connecting with the inside of that left standing leg. And then come up into your tree pose. So any version of tree pose. So it could be hands at the chest center in prayer position. You could have the finger tips or the palms connected, or you could have the arms in this wider position. Just nice gentle breaths as you hold the pose. That's lovely. And then gently releasing the arms, relax the shoulders. Coming back into your mountain pose. And then from there, we're going to transfer the weight across now into your right foot. And then bringing the arms up into that cactus position. And then start to lift up through your left knee. And then stretching the arms back, stretch the leg back behind you. That's lovely. And then on the inhale, start to come back into the upright position. We're going to lift up through that left knee this time. And then take that right arm out to the right as your left knee comes out to the left, connecting left sole of the foot to the inside of your right standing leg. And again, just finding your own version of tree pose on this side. Gentle breaths as you hold the posture. That's perfect. And then just slowly floating the arms back down. Relax the arms, relax the shoulders. Just gently releasing. As you release, take the weight over again into your left foot and start to swing that right leg. So working into the hip. Doing a little bit of work on the hip, see how that feels. Again, see if you can create a nice smooth flow. That's lovely. And then come back to center. Little dog scrapping here. And then if you take your weight over into, what are you doing though? Take your weight over into your right foot. And then we'll do, just see her little head there. Do that hip swing on this side. Lou, what's she doing, lovely? That's lovely. And then come back to centre. As you come back to centre, just take some hip rotations now. And then we'll take those circles the other way. And then come back to centre. So we're going to come into a warrior sequence now. So from warrior 1, you start to come towards the back of your mat. And then we'll take a step forward, just a small step forward with your right leg, your right foot. And then start to bend your right knee, ground down through that back left heel. And then from there, start to lift the arms. So you're coming up into warrior 1. Just engage your core muscles. So you're containing the ribs. You can either look up or you can look forward if you prefer. And then from there, we're going to start to hinge forward from the hips. You're reaching forwards. And then sweep the arms back so you've got a nice long diagonal spine. And then inhale again as you stretch the arms overhead. You've got the option to lift that back left heel if you wish. Again, it takes it into a little bit more of a balance. And you get more of a stretch through the frontal hip flexors on the left side. And again, just a little lean forwards. And then reach the arms back on the diagonal. And just continue in that way. So you're lifting up as you breathe in. As you breathe out, hinge forward from the hips, reaching forwards and then stretching the arms back diagonally. That's good. Do one more of those on this side. As you rise up now with the arms, we're going to bring the arms into a cactus position. We'll take that into a twist. So on the out breath, take a twist around to the left. It doesn't really matter, we're going to go both ways, but left is the easiest way first. And then inhale as you come back to center. And then on the exhale, take that twist around to the right. Inhaling as you come back to center. Just rising up through the arms, come back into your warrior 1. And then hinge forward from the hips. And reach the arms back diagonally. And again, inhaling, reach the arms overhead. Exhale as you hinge forward, reach the arms back diagonally. This time, as you stretch the arms overhead, you can bring the arms out to the side to release. You can bring the hands back to the hips. And then take a step forward. So step the left foot forward. So you're coming into your mountain pose. And then from mountain pose, we'll take that into chair pose. So if you reach the arms overhead now, inhaling. On the exhale, just sit back as if you're sitting into your chair. Take your sit bones back behind you. You can bring the arms out in front of you at shoulder height so that your chest is shining forwards. And then from there, push the palms behind you as you start to straighten up through the legs. You're opening up through the chest. Nice inhale. And then reach the arms overhead. Again, we're going to sit down so we're sitting in our chair. Sit bones are moving back, arms are reaching forward, heart shining forward, gaze is forwards. And again, push the palms back. Inhale as you rise up through your crown, opening up through the chest. Just do one more of those. Inhale as you reach the arms overhead. Exhale as you sit down into your chair. You can bring the arms back to shoulder height. Just sitting back a little with the sit bones. And again, inhaling, push the palms back, opening up through the chest as you straighten up through the legs. And then this time, relax the arms. Just roll the shoulders a little. That's lovely. We're going to come into our warrior sequence on the other side now. So if you step back with your right foot this time, so left foot is forward, right leg is back, and then start to bend your left knee. And again, you can start to ground down through that right heel. So you start to feel a little bit of stretch and opening here through your frontal hip flexors on that right side. And then we can find our warrior one position. So either looking up or you can leave the head facing forward. Again, just engage your core a little so that you're not flaring up too much through the ribs. And then from there, we're going to start to hinge forwards again, just as we did on the other side. And then reach the arms back diagonally. And then that continues in that way. Option again, this time on this side, to lift that right heel if you wish. So it takes it into a little bit more of a balance. And you get a little bit more stretch through the frontal hip flexors on the right side. So through psoas muscle. And again, just rising up. Inhaling, exhaling as you take that stretch through. Nice. And this time as you rise up, you're going to bring the arms back into that cactus position. And then we'll come into our twist. So on the out breath, you twist around to the right this time. And then on the in breath, coming back to center. And on the out breath, taking that twist around to the left. And on the in breath, coming back to center. And again, just take the arms overhead, come back to that sequence from Warrior One, just reaching forwards. And then taking the arms back behind you on the diagonal. And again, rising up, come back to Warrior One. I'll just do one more on this side. And then this time, as you reach the arms overhead, just bring the arms out to the side, let them float back alongside the body. Bring the hands onto the hips. And then we'll take a step forward. So right foot joins left. And then we'll come into a standing forward bend. So we'll do this as water wheel. So we'll come into a nice flow. So alternating between the forward bend and the backward bend. On the exhale, if you use your bee breath, so you're humming Brahmari breath with the exhalation, and that really start to soothe the central nervous system. So just starting to bend the knees, and then we'll hinge forward from the hips, sliding the hands down the fronts of the legs, and just gliding gently into your forward fold. And then inhale, just engage your core a little, coming back up, bring the hands up over the hips, releasing into your backward bend. And then using that Brahmari on the exhale. Just do one more. Releasing into your back bend. And then come back to center. You can bring your hands over the belly now. Reconnecting with the breath, either closing your eyes or perhaps dropping your gaze. Just take a moment to notice how you feel, notice your energy. Breathing into the hands. And then, so from there, if you open your eyes, if you've had your eyes closed, and then, so we're going to come down onto our mats now. We're going to come into a prone position, and we're going to practice the half locust pose. So you might want to have a little drink first, and then we'll set ourselves up on our bellies, coming into that nice prone position. And of course, as you come down onto your mat, you can just have a little roll around. So you're just loosening off again through your pelvis, through your lower back, through your hips. So bringing the arms forward, just fold the arms in front of you, take the knees wider. Just take a moment. Take a moment here to release through the front of the body. So from here, if you start to stretch the legs out behind you, leaving a space between the legs, and then make soft fists with the hands, and then take the upturned fists underneath the body to the tops of your thighs are just resting on those upturned fists. And if it's comfortable to do so, just rest your chin on your mat. And then with your breath, we're going to start to lift up through that right leg. So do it on a An inhale or an exhale, whichever feels most natural to you, and then releasing. We're going to alternate now from side to side with the breath. Again, you can close the eyes if you'd like to. And again, just take your time moving slowly. It's a good one for relieving tension around the pelvis. Good for stretching and strengthening through the hips. Good for stretching and strengthening through the pelvis, psoas muscles. It's a really good hip opener. And it helps with the flexibility of the leg. We'll just do one more to each side. And then as you release this time, release the arms, bring the hands just alongside the chest, and then we'll push back through the palms. We'll sit back towards the heels, and then find your own version of stretch cat or pose of child. Just take your time here. Taking some bigger breaths into the belly, and just allow the body to soften, sink down, encouraging the lower back to release. Take a few big spacious breaths here. So really allowing yourself to be breathed. And then from here, we're going to just start to lift up slowly. Come back to all fours. We're going to find our way into downward facing dog, or you could take a cat stretch as an alternative if you prefer. So finding that all fours position. And then if you're coming into downward facing dog, just take the toes under. And then we'll sit back towards the heel, starting to lift the knees away from the floor. And then tip your tailbone skywards as you drop your head between your arms. Take a moment to lengthen through the sides of the body, creating that concaving of the upper back between the shoulders. And then we'll start to stretch out through the backs of the legs. So just pedaling through the feet, releasing the backs of the legs. And then from there, we'll start to bring the head forward of the arms, start to drop the knees down, take the toes out, and again, just sitting back, come back into that stretch cat position, come back to your breath. And just allow gravity to release you now. Nice, big, spacious breath. And then from there, just slowly start to lift your head, walk the palms back towards the knees. And then from there, if you'd like to start to think about coming into your relaxation pose, so perhaps have a little drink, just gathering everything that you might need. Make sure that you're nice and warm, so your body temperature is going to drop a little bit. So maybe just putting on an extra covering. We'll take this time to set ourselves up slowly for relaxation. And then as you come into that resting position, just start to bring your shoulder blades down your back, closing your eyes. And just take a little bit of time to settle here. And take a little time now to notice sound. So the sounds that might be further away in the distance, the sounds outside the window, sounds closer to you. And allow sounds to pass free of judgment, free of thought, just as a passing event. And slowly experience your mind becoming detached from sound, so that you're just listening. And your intention is to hold on to less and less, letting go of importance and unimportance of whatever you might be perceiving. And bring your attention now to your abdomen and allow this whole area to become soft. And begin now to consciously shape your breath, emphasizing the abdominal diaphragmatic breath. So the inhale and the exhale are of equal length. And the chest remains still. And the focus of your breath is in the abdomen itself, softly rising on inhale, softly falling on exhale. Perhaps beginning to notice how this rhythm is shaping the mind. As you inhale, a sense of being washed afresh with new energy, vitality and healing. As you exhale, that you're letting go, releasing both fatigue as well as tension and all thoughts. And continue to shape your breath consciously, resolving any disruption in the even, smooth, effortless flow. Simply relax to guide the breath to become more refined and more balanced. If you notice your mind becoming active again, just resolve to drop back into the breath. Allow the exhale to disperse any tension. The inhale to refresh and revitalize your entire being. And now allow your breath to become completely involuntary and transition to the breath becoming effortless, no longer being consciously shaped. And observe your breath is clear and still. The abdomen is soft. And feel the breath flowing at the perfect rhythm, completely relaxed. And still mindful of your breath, notice the floor holding you, completely supporting you. And be aware that the more you relax, the more you are supported. Your whole body softening. Be aware of your entire body. Your entire body softening. Your facial muscles softening. Your tongue, your forehead spreading, releasing. The scalp is soft. Sense the internal organs relaxing. And in this moment, completely relax any holding around your abdomen, your lower back, your physical heart, your arms, your hands relaxing, your fingers, your palms, noticing any sensation through the palms of the hands. Body completely supported. And now feel and be aware of specific points of contact between the back of your body and your mat, the surface upon which you're lying. Body resting, pulled by gravity. Be aware of both heels now. And feel the pressure of the heels being pulled back gently by the earth. resting on whatever surface they're on, being pulled. And your calves now, your calf muscles. Sense the calves being pulled back towards the earth. And the backs of your thighs sinking, letting go. Sense the shoulder blades being drawn into the earth. Both elbows, the backs of your hands, the back of your head, back of the head being drawn back to the earth. Now feel all of these points together. As you exhale, without forcing, without trying to make anything happen. As you observe your body exhaling, have the intention that your thoughts drain out through these points of contact and are released from the body, absorbed by the earth and transformed by that core of fire at the center of the planet. So sensing with each exhalation that your tensions and your thoughts drain out of those points of contact between the back of your body and your mouth. And the body and the mind eventually are free and spacious. Just repeating this process. All your tensions, all your thoughts draining out through the back of the body with the exhalation. Being released from the body, absorbed by the earth, and transformed by that core of fire at the center of the planet. And allow each exhale to take you into a deeper state of relaxation. Repeating this process with each outgoing breath. So in time, mental and physical space becomes so light, so unburdened, free of all responsibility and concern. You may start to perceive an inner light, an inner luminosity just gently appearing without effort, continuing to empty the mind and the body with each outgoing breath. And then eventually relaxing into that luminous presence. Finally letting go of all effort and sensing that you are not the doer. There is nothing to do. You are just effortless awareness experiencing itself. The breath moving through the space of effortless awareness. And as you come back to your breath, allowing it to deepen a little now. And then consciously expand your breath towards your hands and your feet. And then start to bring some gentle movement through the hands, through the feet, through your fingers, through your toes. Taking any additional movement that your body might need, any additional stretches. And then in your own time now, just rolling over onto one side. So whichever side feels most comfortable for you. Coming into that nice fetal position. The last few moments of relaxation.